Welcome to episode 110 of the Epilogue Lady podcast. My name is Bente and I'm coming to you from Vesterålen, northern Norway, where I live with my husband, my oldest son and 3 cats. You can find me on Instagram as Arctic Crafts, on Facebook as Arctic Crafts by Bente, and on Ravelry as Arctic Crafts 65. There is also a group on Ravelry for the podcast where you can participate in make-alongs and the occasional giveaway. There is also a Ko-fi page where you can support me and the podcast. Hopefully the light won't annoy you as much this time. I'm trying to diffuse the light from the ring light, so it's not as much a reflection in my glasses. Sorry, I can't seem to be able to speak today. There's been a month without a podcast, and my surgery went well and I feel much better, and hopefully this podcast will go without a hitch. I'm a bit later than usual, and of course when I postponed starting the recording, I also had problems with the camera, so I had to try a different setting. Hopefully it looks good, because I'm not able to tell until after I'm finished recording, and if it doesn't work, I'll just try again tomorrow. Enough about that. It's still cold, we still haven't got any snow, but there's frost on the ground, so it's absolutely sweater weather. Speaking of sweaters, I'm wearing a Ranunculus today, and this is a knit out of Life in the Long Grass, their hinterland base, and I seem to remember that the colorway is called River Rock. I bought this yarn in Brighton in a yarn store called Yak, that's short for yarn and knitting, and I'm going back there probably in February when we visit Brighton, but then again I'm also going to unravel, and I'm going to unravel one of the first days we're there, so depending on what happens to my yarn budget at unravel, I won't be going to yarn and knitting. So that's the sort of the life stuff. We're going to quiz night tonight, and we're combining that with the dinner date because the quiz is at a pub and they have really nice pub food, so we're going to have dinner first and then do the quiz. And I don't have a lot of live stuff. It's been a month, but nothing major has happened apart from my surgery, of course. Vlogmas is still on. I'm not sure if I'm doing podcasts in December yet. My Vlogmas this year is going to be a bit different because I'm not alone in the house during the day. So I'll probably just do a morning chat with my coffee, and I'm opening my advents on camera this year instead of recording me doing it. I'm going to open my advents on camera and do a little bit of a chat. And depending on what happens, I'm going to record stuff I'm doing, of course, but there might not be another chat to the camera. We'll see what happens, but I'm doing Vlogmas. I seem to remember I've been talking about this before. That's what happens when you have a month break. It's like a lot of things has happened, and you're wondering, did I talk about this before or didn't I? Anyways. We'll start talking about knitting. I have, and again, I'm not sure if I've shown you all of this before, but I'm going to start showing you 3 pairs of socks. This pair of socks, I know I haven't shown you before. These are for hubby, and they're knit in West Yorkshire Spinners, and Signature, I think it's called. And I knit through this really quickly, and hubby wants longer legs on his winter socks, so these have quite a long leg, but I knit through those really quickly. And then I realized I had 2 pairs of finished socks that I'm not sure I showed you. So I'm going to show them to you now, and you have to... I'm sorry if you've seen them before. These are from Area 51. The yarn is from Area 51. And these are knit toe up, so I could be sure to use up all of the yarn. And I can't remember the colorway name, but it's a Halloween colorway. So that's those. And these I finished quite a long time ago, I think, but I'm not sure I've shown you these finished. I think I showed them to you while they were with. Again, I can't seem to be able to speak today. These are Asfaltsflickan. And again, I can't remember the colorway name because it's been a while. So these are the socks. And then I have a big finished object. And it's a sweater that was supposed to be for hubby, but my gauge swatch was a lying liar that lied, so it was too small for hubby. But then again, my son is smaller than hubby, and he tried it on and loved it. So this is for my son. And this is Bakkegenser by Rauma Design, and the yarn is Rauma Fiber. This was a really fun project because of the color changes. And because it's all over color work, it's practically double. So it's a really, really warm sweater. And it's going to really be a nice sweater for my son to have this winter. And he's really knit worthy. I've knit him several sweaters and he keeps using them. So I have no problem knitting sweaters for him. And he was due a sweater anyway, and I just finished a sweater for hubby, so it's like it was fated or something. And then I'm going to show you some spinning FOs. And I'm telling you up front, I'm a newbie spinner. But I've been good. I actually did wraps per inch, and I also figured out the meterage. So all the fiber is from Ulbei. And this was a rainbow bat. I showed it to you when I got it in the mail. And this is 13 wraps per inch, and it's 99 meters and 100% merino. And 13 wraps per inch is sort of a heavy fingering light sport, but that's the average. Because some places it's really, really bulky, other places it's really, really thin. But I'm thinking this might be good in a hat, because I spun it color by color, so it's a rainbow gradient. And this was the Lucky Dip. And this is a mad blend of all different sorts of fibers, and I don't know what any of them are because they weren't labeled or anything. They were just a bag full of tiny bits of comb top. But still, I'm rather consistent, even though the yarn is thick and thin. I'm at a 13 wraps per inch on average, and this is 102 meters. I think this might, even though it's thick and thin, I'm going to try what this looks like in my crochet blanket. And this is the last one. And this was something called, this is the one called Hexeflak, or Witch's Bat. It's black with all sorts of color pops in it. And this was merino and tussa silk and bamboo. And again, it's 13 wraps per inch and 75 meters. Not sure what I'm using this for. So those are my finished spinning projects. All of them singles. Pardon me. All of them singles. I'm not attempting plying yet. I want to be able to spin consistently and thinner than that, before I start plying, because I feel like DK is the maximum thickness I want, because if I spin worsted or Aran weight, I'm not sure what I can use it for, so I want to try to get maximum a DK after I apply it. So, but again, I want to be able to spin consistently lace weight before I start plying, and I know that's that's a long time before I'll be able to do that, but it's not a problem for me only spinning singles, because singles work unless it's socks. So that's all my finished objects that I can think of, because I haven't done a ton of knitting, and now I can hear a car coming up the driveway, so that means hubby is coming home. So I'm taking a quick break in the filming here, and I'll be back. And I'm back. Good thing I just paused the recording because when hubby came home, because it's been a good mail day for me, so I got things in the mail that I can show you later when I get to the show and tell. So I have two more things to show you in show and tell. I've shown you my FOs, both my spinning FOs and my knitting FOs, so let's talk whips, shall we? I'll show you my sock whip first. This is bad planning on my part, because this sock is almost finished. But I started a sweater. Story of my life. So I'm on the toe of this sock, the first sock of the pair. And this is Nicole C. Mendes, her soft sock, and the colorway is Happy Thanksgiving. The brown is Sandnes Sisu. I like buying Sisu from Sandnes for heels, toes and cuffs. It's nice having a few different colors in Sisu. This I bought for a sweater, but the leftovers are really nice for heels, toes and cuffs. So that's, as you can see, for the toes on socks, I like using these Crazy Trio, they're called in Europe. I think they're called something different in the US, but in Europe they're called Crazy Trio, and it's sort of this business. It's almost it's a something in between Magic Loop and oh my god, DPNs. So I like using these for toes. The heel I'm doing as I go on my 9-inch circular. And on this I've done something I sometimes do with self-striping to make it a little more interesting. I just slip every 4th stitch when the color changes. Whenever on the round, I start doing that wherever I'm on the round. I just start slipping every 4th stitch, and then I knit all the stitches on the row after, so you get this fun effect in the color changes. And as you see, I just, what you call that in English? I move them 2 stitches over the round afterwards, the next time I do it, and then back again. And I don't do that under the foot. Not sure why, because it doesn't make the sock more bulky, or it doesn't make any difference for the fabric, but I just don't do it underneath the foot. So that's an almost finished sock, and the yarn is, as I said, Nicole C. Mendes, Happy Thanksgiving. And the other whip I'm working on, my other active whip, is the only thing I've been knitting on the last few days. And it's this. And it's living in my new bag from Sue, Craft Knit 7. And This is the Floral Party Top by AbbyeKnits. And the yarn I'm using is a kit with 6 different colors that hubby bought me. This is Sandnes alpaca, and I wanted to use it in a sweater, so I bought some grey in my local yarn store in the same yarn. And I'm going to have lots of yarn left, both the color and the grey. So I'm thinking the pattern I got today or yesterday, I think it was today, by Helen Stewart from a knit vent, is going to work with this yarn. I can tell you what it is because everybody's got that pattern now. It's a cowl and it's DK. And this is... So I'm thinking I can make that out of the grey or I can stripe it. We'll see. This, I'm so happy that I'm past the sleeves because this sweater is intarsia down to past the sleeves, because you have to do that to be able to do the sleeves a different color. So you can see I have striped the body and the sleeves are grey. And you're supposed to decrease under the arms to make it snug. I did that on the first, I knit this pattern before. And I did that on that, but I'm not doing that on this because this is 100% alpaca. And from experience, I know that this is not going to hold its shape anyway. So it's no point in doing that. So now I'm going to keep on striping. And I think I'm going to do this cropped. So I'm going to knit all the stripes one more time. And as soon as I finished with the blue for the second time around, I'm going to measure it, and if I think it's the right length, I'm just going to do a grey ribbing and then knit the sleeves. And the sleeves probably I'm going to do 3/4. Not sure. I prefer 3/4 sleeves, but this is going to be a really warm sweater, so maybe I'm doing full sleeves on this one because it's going to be really warm. And then it's a waste to knit 3/4 sleeves on a warm sweater, because then it's going to be really nice wearing it when it's cold. So that's that. So I'm knitting a sweater for myself this time. So that's my knitting whips, and I have a spinning whip. I'm finished with the spinning, but I haven't thwacked. Nice word, thwack. Erlend helped me do that with some of these that I already showed you. He thought it was great fun. I soaked the yarn first, and then first of all, of course, I use my niddy noddy to skein it up, and then I soak it, and then I bang it against the toilet lid, basically. And Erlend helped me do that, and I think he got out some aggression as well. He really enjoyed doing that. But I haven't done that yet with this. And this is 100% merino. It's comb top. I think that's what it's called. It's not a braid. I think it's called comb top. And I'm still struggling with the merino. It's more slippery than the Corriedale. So now I'm actually doing a bit of Corriedale as a training exercise. I'm trying out different long draw, short draw, forward draw, backwards draw, all different kinds of things. What I'm doing, I'm splitting up the braid lengthwise until I get a pretty thin length of fiber. So I don't have, but I think I'm liking the look of just doing the whole thing. But I think you have to do long draw to be able to do that. But maybe you can do it short draw. So that's why I'm doing some of my own dyed Corriedale now, just to practice a bit before I keep on with the next Because I'm not going to ply them anyway, I can do them different techniques. As long as I do the same technique for the entire braid, I figure I can, but I'm using my own fiber for experimenting. So that's spinning whip, and I think that's actually it for whips. I've been gone for a month, and it's looking like this might be a short episode, but then I haven't shown you my show and tell yet. I'll show you what arrived in the mail today first. This year's, I think it's this year's, I haven't seen it before, so it's West Yorkshire Spinners Christmas colorway. It's called Gingerbread, and true to tradition, I ordered 2, and one of them are going to Canada. It's sort of a tradition by now. I ordered 2 of these and sent one to Sue. I already sent her her advent calendar, so this has to go in her Christmas box. That's that. And the other thing that arrived was from Sue. It was my advent. So I knew there were 2 things in that box, and I opened it just to take out one of the things. And then I told Hobby to put the rest of it somewhere safe. I'm not going to do anything about it until December 1st anyway, but nonetheless. This is the Bird and Blend advent calendar. And this has been around the world because it first went from the UK to Canada, and then it went from Canada to me. So sorry about the carbon footprint on this one, but thank you, Sue. This year I'm having a Bird and Blend advent calendar, and the really nice thing about the calendars they're doing now is that there are 2 tea bags each day, so me and Hubby can have a cup each. And I'm sorry about looking in the viewfinder all the time. I'm just worried because the settings on the camera, I had to do changes with them. I have more show and tell. This arrived yesterday, and I wanted this since they published it. And a Norwegian gaming store put it up online. So I bought it. It wasn't cheap, but I bought it. It's called Exquisite Exandria, as you can tell, and it's the official cookbook of Critical Role. I've only tried one of these recipes before because it was put up online, and they were really, really yummy. Let's see if I can find the description. It's in the Marquette part. Let's see. Let's see if I can find them. Here they are. These I have tried. Lord Esteros's maple ginger cookies with turmeric. And these are really, really, really good. And I made these for Christmas last year. And when I talked to Alan the last time, he asked me, are you going to make Lord Esteros's cookies for Christmas? And I told him, yes, I am. And maybe there's even more cookies in here that I can make for Christmas. He's sort of a critter. Fans of Critical Role are called critters. And he's also a critter, so I think he finds it really fun that it's from the show. He's seen them talk about these cookies in game. So I'm going to look through this, really enjoy myself and going through it and discovering maybe new stuff I can make for Christmas, or there's savory stuff in here as well, of course. So that came in the mail yesterday, and I have some yarn, and this is the September-October skein from Unique Garn. and you would think they knew me because this is pink with neons. So not sure what I'm going to do with this, but perhaps pair it with a pink and knit something, knit a shawl or something. Mix it with a solid of some kind and make a shawl. Because it's 85-15 as well, so it's really soft. And I got some more fibers. This is from Ulvei, and because I struggled with the merino, and they have this is 100% Norwegian sheep's wool, so it's sheepy and more grippy than the merino. So hopefully this makes a more consistent spin. And because it's, I think this was going to be a really nice airy yarn. Hopefully, we'll see. It's also from Ulvei, and it's really nice. And as I said, 100% Norwegian sheep's wool. Really looking forward to spinning that. I think I'm going to do that next, but I wanted to show it to you first, because I think this is going to be an easier spin than the merino I have left. So I'm going to try this first. And that's it for show and tell. I still haven't done any dyeing. I haven't dyed yarn yarn in ages. But I think I'm going to, my winter depression sort of set in. So I had a rough week. It didn't help that I was recovering from surgery. Didn't do me any favors. So I think I need some color therapy. So I think I'm going to dye some yarn next week. Or dye some fiber. I'm going to dye some fiber as well, I think. I was looking on YouTube for tips about dyeing fibers, and I also have a book from Sweet Georgia Fiber about dyeing fiber. And what I've been doing, I've been dyeing the roving without doing anything to it. I just secured it so it wasn't felting together. But apparently you can also dye it in the braid. So that's what I'm going to try next time. I'm going to braid the roving and then dye the braid. I think that makes for a really fun variegated. I of course have to leave it in the dye for a really long time to make sure that all the fibers have colors on them. Because when you braid a fiber, you probably maybe could get resistance marks, and I don't want that. I want color on the entire thing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to kettle dye it, and I'm going to do one with the roving as is and one with the braid, and I'm going to do the same thing to both and see the difference, I think, just to try it out. I'm going to spin up everything anyway because I need the practice. I'm also going to dye up some yarn. I need more prices. Speaking of prices, I forgot the names of the prize winners for the Spooky Mail because I haven't brought the book with me. But if you go to the end of the thread on Ravelry for the Spooky Mail, you can see the winners listed. All the winners have gotten back to me, so I have the addresses for everyone. And I'm really sorry that I haven't sent them out yet, but I've had a week, to put it like that. So, but I have everything I need, so I'm going to ship them out on Monday. I'm going to get everything ready this weekend and ship them out on Monday. Because I'm no longer a small business, it's more labor intensive shipping stuff out in the mail, and it's more expensive as well, because I did sort of, I had a bulk discount when I was a small business. Now I'm just a person, it's just me, so I have to pay full price and I have to ship them individually. So, but I have everything I need from all the winners, so now I can send them out, and but I haven't done so yet. There's also the Grinch Mal has started, and it's the same rules as there's always been the same rules. Whips are allowed if they're less than 50% done, and if you're in doubt, just post it and I'll just disqualify you if I find that you had done too much on it. But whips are allowed. And it has to be a selfish project, because everybody are knitting gifts during November and December. I want you to knit something for yourself, even if it's only a hat or a pair of socks. Knit something for yourself and enter it into the Grinch make-along. There's one exception though. If it's green, you can enter it even if it's a present, but it has to be at least 50% green. So a colorwork sweater where the main color is green, that's okay. A pair of socks with green cuffs, heels and toes, not acceptable. So at least 50% of the project has to be green for it to count. And that's the Grinch Mal, and that runs until December 31st, and I'll draw the prices in the beginning of January. As usual, I haven't got the prices ready yet, that's I normally don't show the prices for the make-alongs. I should be better about that. But I show you the prices when I get them in the mail, so you've seen it before. But there you see, I'm the ultimate professional doing this. We could do a deal. From now on, I'm showing you the prices. The thing is, I haven't got a lot of prices in my price bin, so I'm hoping for something to arrive that I can use as a price before I send out the prices. So I don't decide on the prices until it's getting really close to the deadline for the make-along. And I have to do it like that because I haven't got a load of stuff to choose from, and now my price bin is empty. So I think I have a couple of bags left, project bags left, that I can use for prices. So I have to go through my stash this time, and that's why I'm not sure on what I have to do, what I'm doing for prices. But one thing stands, and that's there's going to be either a pattern price or stitch markers for the Instagram winner, and it's going to be 3 prizes for the Ravelry thread. And that's all I know for now. I love doing make-alongs. The prices are a pain though, because it's really annoying that I don't have a lot of prices, and I have some stuff in the price bin, but I want to save it for the Arctic Summer of Socks next year, because there's sock yarn, self-striping sock yarn even, and I want to use that as a price for the Arctic Summer of Socks. One of my viewers have donated a pattern, and she wants me to use that as a price for the Tea Time Mal. And that's just it. You know about all my make-alongs. I start 1st of March doing the Tea Time Mal, and that lasts to the end of May. And then I start the Arctic Summer of Socks, that lasts until the end of August. And then I start the Spooky Mal, that lasts until the end of October. And then I start the Grinch Mal, that goes out for the rest of the year. So it's easy to know. I do occasional giveaways on YouTube, of course, but that's more the exception than the rule. Not sure why I talked so much about make-alongs and prices, but my podcasts are sort of what you call it? A stream of consciousness? I think that's what you call it. Because I don't have any notes other than this. so I never remember everything I was supposed to talk about. I probably forgot a lot of stuff this time as well, especially since it's been a month. I don't think I forgot anything. So live stuff I did a bit at the start. I mentioned we're going to quiz night tonight. Tomorrow we're trying to get in a session of D&D. So hopefully that will work. And we haven't got any plans for the weekend. I have a dentist appointment to look forward to. I told hubby that's so typical because 2 days before my surgery I was really dreading my surgery, and 2 days before my surgery I got a notice from my dentist that I had an appointment at the end of November, and I told hubby that's so typical because I was looking forward to getting the surgery out of the way, and then this dentist appointment showed up. But then I have nothing more that I need to do for the rest of the year that I'm dreading. I can only look forward to December 1st, and I'm going to try to think about December 1st instead of dreading the dentist. I hate the dentist. I'm so sorry. I think it's rather common to don't like going to the dentist, by the way. I think that's a common thing. Anyways, that's the end of November. And I got my new planner for 2024. It started in September of this year, and that was really nice because then I could start using it again. It's one of those sweary ones, and I can show you next time maybe. But I ordered another one. I of course ordered another one, and it's a coloring one. I'm not sure why I keep buying planners because I never use them. It's getting into the habit, I think. I need to, instead of doing all the other stuff I do in the mornings, I should just get used to sitting down with my planner and my morning coffee and do it in the mornings. I have all this, and I love hoarding stationery and planner accessories like stickers and washi tape and everything. So I have so much fun with my planners, but I don't use them for anything in particular. And maybe that's the problem. If I think of that I have to use them properly, that write in all my appointments and everything, maybe that's the problem, because I have all of that on my mobile with alerts and everything. So I don't need a planner to keep track of my appointments. So maybe that's the problem. Maybe I should just tell myself, you're allowed to play. I'm allowed to play around with stickers and washi tape and markers and coloring pencils, even though I'm supposedly a grown-up. That's just supposedly, by the way. I don't think I'm ever going to grow up. Maybe that's just a good thing. So instead of keeping on with this babbling and getting annoyed, because I hope you can forgive me for everything that's going on with the camera and the settings and the viewfinder, and I'm thinking I have to figure out something else here because it's really close up in my face, but if I put it further away I'm not sure what that would look like. So I'm going to have to experiment a bit, I think, before I put up my next podcast. But the most important thing I figured this time was to come back on, show you what I've been doing for the last month and what I've gotten in the mail and everything, and try to be a bit more professional. Big chance. The next time. Vlogmas is going ahead. I have to make some plans for Vlogmas because November has a tendency to go by really quickly. I think it feels like yesterday was Halloween and it's already the 10th of November. So yes, November tends to go by really quickly, so I have to start making plans for Vlogmas. And have to make plans for, I have to figure out how much fairy lights I have to put up for December 1st and what sort of decorations to put up in the house for December 1st, where to record Vlogmas, all that stuff. So that's something I have to figure out. And my next podcast is going to be on the 25th, so after my dentist's appointment. And that will be my last podcast before Vlogmas starts. So I think I'm going to stop now because I haven't got anything sensible to say. I need to edit this so we can get on with our day. And I'll see you in 2 weeks. And hopefully that podcast will be a bit more professional. And hopefully I have a finished sweater to show you, and maybe some other works in progress. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye bye.